If you are driving while without invalid automobile insurance and you are concerned in an exceedingly automobile accident, here's what to understand at the outset. One. The fact that you are an uninsurable driver does not have any impact on a key element: World Health Organization was guilty of the accident. 2. If you're found guilty, you will likely be in person on the monetary hook for any injuries and vehicle injury ensuing from the crash, since you do not have an insurance policy for those losses. What can I do in an accident if I am uninsured? The most necessary factor to try to be stop and stay behind at the accident scene till you have taken correct action. There will be consequences for driving while not insured, however those pale as compared to the penalties that may result if you allow the scene of an accident, including criminal hit-and-run charges, particularly if anyone is hurt within the crash. Here are some to take. 1. Call emergency medical services if anyone looks to possess suffered important injury. 2. Call police to the scene. 3. Exchange data with anyone concerned within the accident. 4. Be cautious what you say at the car accident scene. 4. Do not admit fault for the accident, and do not discuss any details regarding the crash. 5. Get the names and get in touch with data of any witnesses who could have seen what happened. 6. Take photos of the accident scene, the position of the vehicles, and anything that may facilitate tell the story of however the accident happened. It's important to have things remain in a prospective manner here. It's against the law to drive with no insurance, or while not proof of financial responsibility for an accident. However, the actual fact that you are uninsurable is not progressing to inherit play once it involves working out who is guilty for the accident. What if the uninsurable driver isn't guilty for the automobile accident? If you were battle-scarred in an exceedingly automobile accident caused by the opposite driver, there should be sure restrictions on what, if anything, you will recover against that driver, if you probably did not have your own insurance. Several states have some variation of a no-pay, no-play law. In those states, if you probably did not have valid insurance in the situation at the time of the accident, you are restricted within the kinds of compensation you will receive for your injuries, and in an exceedingly few states, like New Jersey, you cannot recover something in the least against the at-fault driver. In states like the US state called California, you cannot recover non-economic damages like compensation for pain and suffering, however you'll still get reimbursed for your medical bills. The reasoning behind no-pay, no-play laws is that if you do not have the specified car insurance that might offer full compensation to a different person, then you should not be able to claim the complete advantages of somebody else's insurance if you have been the victim of an automobile accident. What if I am guilty for the accident? The answer here depends on whether or not you reside during a no-fault insurance state, or a state that follows ancient fault, or tort, principles once it involves insurance. If you reside in a no-fault insurance state. More than a dozen states follow some version of what is referred to as a no-fault insurance system. In a no-fault state, if an individual is disjointed during an automotive accident, they are typically needed for compensation for economic, out-of-pocket, losses directly from their own insurance company. Solely underneath terribly restricted circumstances will the disjointed person step outside of the no-fault system and file a legal proceeding. So, if you reside during a no-fault state and you do not have insurance, even if you are guilty of the accident, the opposite driver in all probability cannot name you as a litigant during a legal proceeding and ask for compensation directly from you. Solely in restricted circumstances is that this possible, specifically, wherever injuries are deemed serious or significant underneath the state's threshold definition, or once medical expenses exceed a precise quantity, like $20,000. If a legal proceeding is filed against you, as a result of you not have insurance, you will be paying any damages to the disjointed person out of your own pocket. You will even be two-faced with hiring an attorney at your expense unless you wish to undertake to defend the case yourself. It's no defense to those lawsuits to inform the court, "I cannot pay that quantity." If you're found liable once in effort and you're ordered to pay the opposite driver's damages, the judgment is entered against you. If you reside in a very-fault automobile insurance state. States that don't follow a no-fault insurance system, the signify means that the wide majority of states are referred to as tort states. In those states, if you cause an automobile accident and another person is out of action, they'll sue you for all damages ensuing from the automobile accident. This might embody medical bills, lost wages, property harm, and physical and mental pain and suffering. If you don't have associate automobile insurance policy, you are liable for paying these damages to the wounded person. Which means, you may got to pay them out of your own pocket. If the case goes to trial and therefore the other driver obtains a judgment against you, they need variety of choices obtainable to undertake to urge some or all of that judgment glad, as well as garnishing your wages in some cases. Penalties for driving while without automobile insurance. If you're in an automobile accident and being seen to be driving while without invalid insurance policy, each state can impose a fine of tons of or maybe thousands of greenbacks. Additionally, the Department of Motorized Vehicles in most states will impose penalties that embody the suspension or revocation of your driver's license, sometimes for an amount from several months to 1 year. In NY, for instance, if your vehicle is uninsurable associated is concerned in an accident. 1. The state's DMV can revoke your driver license and vehicle registration for a minimum of 1 year, and 2. The state's judicature can fine you up to $1,500, and 3. You will need to pay the DMV a $750 civil penalty to revive your driver license.